So now what? Well, this this particular paper that I just had up is complemented by wow, I've had so many publications come out in the last couple of years, it's hard to find them. Does volume price confirmation indicator improve famous investor models? So we just went from what are the famous investor models, who are the famous investors, what does it mean to be famous, what what do they have that makes them unique or different, and in summary it's that they all have a track record of beating the market, and it's due to their own stock picking ability. So that's the theme from this paper. And if you want to understand more about the models, you can get it from this section here. And I have a video outlining a little bit about each model. And then after that, if you're already familiar with the themes of the portfolios, then you don't really need this section. I'm trying to turn my TV down because it's a little loud. All right, so you don't need to review everything that's done here because you already know what these are and how they work and what they do. But if you're curious about it, you can take a look and go through it, and maybe I'll detail that for you somewhere else. And there's a new screen, the simplified CAN-SLIM model. So before you leave the video, just keep in mind that we do also introduce a new model in this paper, so that's the other main contribution. Now, we're looking at each model compared to each other. So this appendix is important, and you want to go through and really understand like what it takes to build each model. So this is the Buffett model. Okay? And so you can read about each of these steps in the definition. So this is going to tell you what is EPS. Okay. What is growth? What does that mean? Okay. What's different between growth year over year or in the last year? What is ROE, return on equity? Okay, so you can go through that, and you know that Graham and Buffett are both primarily value, but I believe Graham especially can also experience growth. It's almost more of a hybrid model. So each one has its own unique set of rules, and they're all summarized here. And so the goal or the purpose is to get a list of stocks. And if you think of it as like a big filter, you have 6,000-7,000 stocks, and when you narrow it down to these rules, now you have maybe 10 to 15 stocks. So if you want to do that, then this last column is going to help you with this tool, which is portfolio123.com. You're going to want to go through and do this there, and that'll help you to rebuild the models that are shown here in this paper and the tables. And so then the last thing is, if you just want to learn more about just basic finance terms from the glossary here, we'll go through some basic terminology for you. So ADR, it's an American depository receipt. Those are like foreign companies listed on the US exchange. Okay, backtesting. What is backtesting? Backtesting involves basically following a list of rules as they would have looked at that point in time in the past with all of the data that was available as it looked then and there. So if it was 93, you're making a decision with that data as it looked then historically, and then carrying that forward in time to the future now to record a result and say this is what would have happened had I started then and acted this way, each and every period over time, and that would be, following these rules repeatedly in the past. Okay. Bases, patterns, double bottoms. Let's talk about the equity curve. Equity is just how much would your money be worth later from following those rules and going through that back testing process. That's pretty much it. The index is usually the benchmark, and that's just going to let you measure your success based on had you just invested in the top 500 stocks that are primarily US traded. Okay, that's pretty much what I want to cover from this for you. And now you have this other paper here. You can go and do the same thing there.